It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Tell them, Canada Dry.
It means that we got a damn show to do. It's Dynamite After Dark.
Woo. Hit the intern, or hit the music intern.
He hit the interns.
Let's just hit the intern.
Yeah.
Hit him.
Freaking interns, I'm telling you. Good for nothing, good for nothing. Well, welcome everybody in beautiful internet land as we stream yet another episode of Dynamite After Dark. I am, of course, the irresponsible but irreplaceable, the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am your Wednesday night Bible leader. Turn in your Bibles to Revelation 1, chapter 1. Let's find out what it says.
I believe it says you're all screwed.
Yeah. Frogs and locusts, baby.
All right, now we are joined. We were going to be joined by Benji, who's the GM of AFWS Wreckage. Fortunately, he's not feeling good, so we want to wish you the best, Benji. Speedy recovery. We will have you on again soon, I promise. Make sure that you can breathe and tell everybody that who won on Wreckage. For AFW, we'll get all into that a little bit later. But we are joined by George Le Disciple Penning. Say hello to the folks out in streaming land.
Hello, folks. I am George Penning. I will do my best to fill in for Benji. Please get better. And I will do my best as intern GM.
And, of course, we are joined none other by Hall of Famer and now local hero.
Local hero.
Hey, say hi. And why are you a local hero?
Because, you know, I'm beyond a friendly neighborhood hero, so I've gone to full out local hero, soon I'll be regional hero. But on a personal note, I am the coach of the school that I work at. I'm the coach of their esports team, and we've started off the season with 2 straight victories. So I'm feeling pretty good about life right now.
Yeah, 2 straight victories. All right. So let's jump right into the fire.
Do you guys like my Ring of Jericho hat?
I like your Ring of Jericho hat. We're going to talk about Ring of Jericho. So we open Dynamite with Jericho Appreciation Society, the celebration of Jericho winning the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. We got Luigi spinning pies. There was a really good Big Lebowski reference to it, which got me to chuckle.
What was the reference? I might have missed that.
The rug. It really ties the room together.
Oh, right. Yes.
They look like some kind of demented pop band with the matching purple pajamas. Hey, Noob, how you doing? The pizza chant was hilarious. I'm not digging Anna Jay as a heel. I don't know what it is about her.
I love Anna Jay as a heel. I love it.
She just
all right. So I guess this is going to be like one of my last days doing this show because I feel like I have been agreeing with Canada Dry way too much, and I'm not going to stop with this one. I love Anna Jay as a heel.
So why would you be your last day as a show? We're in sync.
Because man, I feel like when you got 3 Hall of Famers, like we can't all just be agreeing on stuff.
Well, because we're right. When you're right, you're right, and George Penning's not.
What do you think?
Yeah, how rude. I'm crossing my arms. 3 Hall of Famers over here.
George, what do you think? What do you think of Anna Jay as a heel? Go ahead, tell us what your thoughts are.
For the most part, at least when she's talking, I like it.
And that was the end of that comment. Sucker!
Dang.
Get the hell out of here.
He's back.
Like, so you had to get rid of a man like that, though. He's already not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, then we boot him out like that? No, go ahead. Go ahead, for real this time.
Did you just boot me out?
Oh, no, we didn't boot you. That'd be bullying.
We're having internet issues at the Worldwide Media Studios.
Well, anyway, but So I feel at least when
Go to
Anna's
bed.
talking or doing a promo, I guess if you want to say Queen Slayer part gimmick fits her heel persona, but I'd love to see her do more heelish stuff than just besides be with the JAS,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I feel like she's
Yeah.
just kind of there. And
So,
then her just getting back together with her friend Mello Ty Conti, whatever you want to call her now.
Take of our.
And how about those purple suits? Were those not beautiful? I love them.
They look
Oh
like
yes, definitely Joker inspired.
they literally look like they are, with the exception of Anna J, Guevara, and Tay, look like a pop boy band from the like 80s that are
90s.
on a reunion tour because they snorted all their money away in the 90s. So they're back on tour to make some money. So Jericho presents Daniel Garcia with a yeah, you're right, Mr. Isaacs. Prince is turning in his grave right now as we speak. Only one man can pull off purple, and that's Prince. But here's the thing: Garcia gets a hat, a bucket hat from Jericho.
What was the deal with that? Like, I didn't.
I'm telling you this: if and when I win the AFW World's Championship, I want a Canada Dry bucket hat. I want Canada Dry to send me a bucket hat. I will wear it on my promos. I will wear it with pride.
Were they trying to just make him look like Gilligan? Is that the deal?
It
Is
just
that what they were trying to do?
Danielson shows up. We know that a match is coming. I mean, he came on to what did you guys think of the opening of the open, the cold open as we call it in the business? What did you guys think of
It was such a weird thing to see Guevara and Ty trying to kind of steal the spotlight with all the kissing and stuff, and then kind of just acting real silly because it's like they didn't really have much to do. And it's kind of like, I love Luigi Primo. I love how AEW has been using him kind of as a prop and not as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I love the whole like Jericho grabbing the microphone thing from Garcia, kind of like pushing the microphone down and going back. Like, he goes from this fun-loving persona to like real serious. And there was a part of me, I think I was waiting for Jake Hager to show up and do something. And I think I was a little, I think that not that the segment was bad or anything, but I think I just anticipated like, oh, this is going to get real because Jake Hager's going to pop up and like do some monster stuff. But
yeah,
it didn't happen.
Yeah, I believe he's in training. I think he's got a fight coming up really soon. So, George, what did you think of the Jericho celebration segment?
I felt it was all part segment. I feel like if they were all there to appreciate Jericho winning the ROH World Title, I felt like I guess they did that, but it was just an alright match, little opener.
Yeah.
And then too much to go with it.
Yeah. Canada Dry, what are your thoughts?
I want this Garcia thing to be over. Like, get out of the Jericho Appreciation Society, join the block, end it. Have like it's dragging on now.
Yeah.
Like, figure out where he's gonna be and get there. Like, stop dragging it on. Like,
there was a weird burying of that whole storyline though. Jericho's like, you can be with us, you can be with them, you can be with us, you can be with them, and then William Regal out of nowhere says, well, I don't really want him to be in the Blackpool Combat Club. I want to go against a guy like him. And I'm kind of like, wait, so what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, of course, turns into our first match, which was not on any prediction league that I was in. Danielson versus Menard. Here's my notes really quickly. Not impressed with Menard since he's been in AEW. I'm not high on him or Angelo Parker. I hate the nickname Daddy Magic. Absolutely makes me want to just punch him in the face. Halfway through the match, Menard had some really decent moves, had some really good strikes. AEW needs to get better talent for Danielson. I think he came in so hot with him and Paige and him and Omega, and then it's like he's wrestling like guys that are so far beneath him talent wise. It just makes it look ridiculous. We'll go with George first. George, what are your thoughts on this first match of the night?
I felt like it was all right. I do agree Danielson does need better opponents because like nothing against Mr. Daddy Magic, but I mean as a tag team, I feel like they are better.
I feel like your internet needs to be better, George.
But honestly, even if you want to throw in no way, shape, or form, because that's just how it was. But
yeah,
I do feel Danielson needs to. He just came off of a loss of a world title match, so shouldn't you want to be putting him right back up there?
Yeah,
that's been one of AEW's problems all the time. When somebody loses a title, there's really nowhere for them to go.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's have you challenge for a different title or something.
Well, that's what they're not to skip ahead to the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
So, Trey J, what are your thoughts on the match?
There was no drama here for me. There was nothing surprising here for me. Danielson comes out. Danielson says, "I'm already ready to fight." Daniel Magic says, "I'll step up." Or no, Daniel Magic's like, you get punched in the face. Danielson's like, "All right, cool, try it," and then we know what's gonna happen. And I don't feel like, and I feel like given a team that is so good on the mic and so good with eliciting emotion as 2.0 has always been, they couldn't have drawn up a little bit of drama for this. Mm-hmm. Granted, we don't think that Menard is going to win. Nobody expects Menard to win this match, but Menard's that kind of guy who can be like, at least I can make you want to see me get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, if Action Bronson and Hook can do it, you mean tell me Danielson can't?
Yeah.
So it's just, this was not the best use of talent.
Yeah. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
My beef is with AEW on this.
Okay.
We should no longer know the name Matt Menard. But they're calling him Matt Menard.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be calling him Matt Menard. He's Danny fucking Magic.
Oh boy.
Are you saying Danny Magic?
Well, I thought, what is it?
No,
it's
Magic.
Daddy Magic. Daddy Magic, Matt Menard.
Daddy Magic. Exactly. I should know that name. I shouldn't be thinking he's Danny.
Yeah, but it's Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. Daddy Magic is a nickname for Matt Menard.
Yeah.
If they're sports entertainers, we should not know he's Matt Menard. That's my point. He should just be Daddy Magic. That's it.
Oh, I get it.
Oh.
Cool Hand Luke.
Okay.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You're right.
I didn't know when you rang the bell twice if you were pulling a Sammy Guevara and giving him the win and then taking it away.
It's the end of the segment.
All right, so we go to our next segment, and of course it is MJF and Wheeler Yuta. I have some quick notes on here. Yuta apparently is from Philadelphia. I did not realize this, and somehow he badmouthed the Phillies. I mean, that makes no sense. I'm from Boston. I am always going to talk well, even if I'm a heel. I'm still going to talk about how much I love my Boston sports teams, regardless of how crappy they are. And trust me, this year it has been a crap fest from start to finish. MJF had the best line of the night where he's called them the Blackpool Cuckold Club. Absolutely had me laughing. I rewound it like 3 times. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the MJF promo?
First, we have to talk about that horrid start to Wheeler Yuta's promo. Oh my goodness, that was brutal.
It was atrocious.
But he saved it by focusing on I want to fight. And when you say I want to fight you, you can fake a good promo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what he did. He covered it up with fight bullshit.
Yeah.
And MJF pretty much saved the whole segment.
Oh yeah.
And build it up and that's what MJF does.
Yeah. I like the fact he referred to himself as Daddy. Let Daddy take the wheel. Daddy will run it.
Yeah.
George, your thoughts on
That's
that?
what I thought the funniest line was.
Yeah.
Well, but also
George,
he
your thoughts.
complimented him only to take it all away.
Yes.
Mhm.
George, your thoughts, my brother.
I do feel like this, I guess, promo segment, battle, whatever, I do feel like it was saved by MJF, and I am interested in the direction if they are trying to do a feud with Wheeler Yuta and MJF, because for that part alone, at least after Yuta saved his promo and then MJF came out, I kind of got excited because I want to see Wheeler Yuta versus MJF, because
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I don't remember if they've done that in AEW at least yet. And I'm looking forward to see where they go from there. But I do feel like it basically did its part, and I guess they kind of saved it. So
Yeah. I can dig that. JJ, what are your thoughts on the MJF Yuta segment?
I don't want to, rehash too much what everybody else says. I do think that having Morrissey come out last week and having the Guns come out this week is really good continuity on AEW's side, and that's something that they don't always do.
Yep.
But given the circumstances and the fact that MJF is always brilliant, I'd like to take this time and yield the rest of my time to talk about Bree Mode. I want to say to everybody that Bree Mode, for one, is far more interesting than Wheeler Yuta any day of the week.
Yeah.
Bree Mode is one of my favorite parts of doing this show because normally she is like commented at least 17 things by now.
Yeah.
Also, Bree Mode has one of the greatest laughs in all of AFW.
Yep.
So that is my take on this segment.
Don't think you're gonna steal her away from the Deadly Saints. Don't think that.
No. I'm gonna take. I'm trying. I'm over here. I'm Justin's wingman. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Justin's wingman on this.
Yeah. All right. I'll give you the woo on that one. All right. So let's get to our second match of the night. And that, of course, is Juice Box, Juice Robinson versus John Moxley. I get the history between them. They've had 3 matches now. Juice has won the first 2. But it's another champion in AEW defending the belt with no storyline.
It was defending. This is an elimination match. Eliminator.
It doesn't matter. It's another match with your champion with no build-up and absolutely no storyline. I thought Juice looked really good. What a kick! I mean, that kick from Moxley that laid out Juice was freaking incredible. And surprise, surprise, he bleeds. Moxley bleeds again. Oh my God, what a shocker. We'll get to the end part of it in a second, but Trey J, your thoughts on this match?
I don't really have any. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect.
Mode? Come on.
Right. I didn't. I could. I really did consider if you were to go to me last, I was gonna talk about Dallas next. But honestly, things that stuck out. I never knew that Juice Robinson's nickname was Rock Hard. Yeah, never knew that at all. Yeah. I feel like Juice Robinson was really just there for Tony Storm. I really hate the idea of Tony Khan kind of taking his position with AEW to give his wrestlers this weird revenge tour. Like if they lose someplace else, he'll go ahead and pay for that person to come to AEW just to lose. Yep. Like I don't know. It's not there for me, but I agree with you 100%. Like no story, no build up, no nothing. Like if this is the dude that beat Moxley twice, then that's something that I don't know, at least deserves a promo segment from the two of them first. Moxley,
that would have helped. That would have helped big time.
Yeah. Moxley to look, because I mean, and at this point of the show, this is really where I started to feel like the entire show was really disjointed. Like nothing flowed from one part or another. It's like listening to a bad music album. You know what I'm saying? The songs don't flow. You're just throwing a bunch of stuff together and being like, okay, cool, I put together a show.
Yeah. Canada Dry, you go next. What are your thoughts on the Juice Box Moxley match? Because I know you're a huge Moxley fan. So Go ahead. Just wax poetic about Mox.
I'm the biggest Snore fan. I call him Snorlax. That's what I call him now. Snorlax. My favorite Pokemon. As soon as I saw him do the Danielson stomp, I'm like, it just made me just like, get your own freaking moves.
Yeah.
And then he won the match and whatever. But I would have liked to, like Trey J said, I would have been nice to get a promo between the two, and it did feel weird, but they did point something out interesting during the match, that Juice Robinson is a free agent.
Yeah,
several
times they mentioned it.
Is he going to get signed by Tony Khan?
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I know he's on a pay per match with New Japan right now. So smart move is New Japan will snap him up. Especially now that people from Bullet Club are leaving left and right. George Penning, your thoughts on this match?
So far, I've kind of agreed from what I've heard. I do know when Juice Robinson came out, and the crowd kind of silent, but I'm guessing a bit more bringing in a new hand where, I don't know, they're kind of not like Will Ospreay or Okada level, and they're kind of lower. And honestly, it's understanding that the crowd might not know them, but that's also probably because we didn't have like a promo segment from Mox and Juice. At the very least, all we got was like a little vignette they did on YouTube, but then they showed that on Dynamite. Yeah. And if their intense rivalry is taking place, like I believe what he said, like the past 10 years, or Mox barely beaten Juice in New Japan, especially at the G1, I don't really see where Tony Khan or AEW is getting where he really shouldn't be a threat to the AEW world title or in this eliminator match.
Yeah.
And I wish they would just get rid of that a little more, like this eliminator champion or whatever crap. And they could have just made him like prove it, and you could have just had him come in, Juice Robinson that is, and just beat someone or whatever, since they're already, I guess, fading away the ranking systems anyway. So that probably would have worked even better too.
Yeah.
I like what Noob says. He thinks it was a fun match, but John Moxley needs to stop bleeding like crazy. And he thought William Regal on commentary was very impressive as well.
I love Regal.
If Mox does not bleed, the world will end.
Yes.
Yeah. He must bleed for our entertainment. I would like Regal to replace Tony Schiavone on commentary, and I love Tony Schiavone.
I love that Rice Krispie tweet. Rice Krispie thing he said about I'm going to eat you like a Rice Krispie tweet.
He is literally gold on the mic. So let's get to our next segment, if you will. And of course, it is Saraya or Saraya, however you want to pronounce her name. With Saraya.
It's still Paige.
She comes out, talks. She insinuates that she is the revolution. Then she invites all the women from AEW to come out to the ring, and it was the worst selection of faces I think I've ever seen in my entire life in this women's division that came out. And then, Britt Baker leads the heels, and you realize that this division is not good. If this is what they're going to pull out and this is going to be the result, it's not looking good for AEW to have this women's division look that bad. And nothing against these women. I mean, Toni Storm, and we'll talk about that in her match, but Storm, you have some great talent.
Well, you have a few names that weren't there.
I think that's the point, though. Like the people who weren't there stuck out more than the people who were.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the worst part about it is, this was absolutely one of the most. You took Paige, who ignited the internet on fire last week. That crowd, if you had to go pee or get popcorn or get another beer, that was the time to do it, is during that segment, because you didn't miss anything. Talk about dropping the ball. He
Yeah.
fumbled worse
Yeah.
than the Jacksonville Jaguars do every freaking Sunday. They looked horrible. Trey J, your thoughts on the segment?
Follow the white rabbit.
Get that off our TV.
Oh man.
No, but seriously though, that whole thing,
Yeah.
that whole thing, I think it, like, I went numb. Like I could have zoned out, because it was just like, she had a good promo, and the second she called these people out, it died.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the major crowd. Like, I want all the women. 5 people show up.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then it was like, randomly you have Sky Blue in that group. Okay, Tony Storm, Athena, cool. Madison Rain, okay, whatever. But Sky Blue was just such an odd choice. I'm like, there was nobody who was going to be on Dark or Elevation that could have showed up. Amy Sakura wasn't there. Riho, she's not been doing much. I don't know. Is Nyla Rose a face again now? Or, there was a lot left to be desired here. And then when the heels finally show up, it's almost like, whoa. And then, was that Penelope Ford?
Yeah.
They found a way to make Penelope Ford look unappealing, which is
difficult.
Yeah, she's probably the prettiest out of all of them. They've really messed up.
And then, of course, you're not gonna get Jade, but the fact that you didn't get Jade with such a small crowd was really noticeable.
Yeah.
Layla Gray, Kiera Hogan. There's so many people who, you announced a couple people on Dynamite for a women's match. Oh yeah, and Willow Nightingale was there.
Yeah.
I thought she was ROH.
Yeah.
But she was there. And it's kind of like,
they've kind of
there was a lot of
intermingled all that together now. They have ROH and AEW. It's all just one big.
Yeah. But it really, and I think it made Tony Storm look less valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just
look extremely weak. George, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I do agree. I will say, coming from me being a big Paige, Soraya, whatever you want to call her, fan, and after last week to now, seeing that segment, I was really excited until after basically her saying she is the Revolution part, and then, I don't know, randomly coming out with the women's champ, Tony Storm, and then I guess the next 5 people, she probably gave like $5 or something, like, hey, would you come out here with me if I give you $5? And then completely dropped the ball with that segment.
Yeah. And
talk about so much hype that just got dropped and went down into a blazing fire pit. And then I don't even, in my opinion, the heels didn't even save this. Britt Baker tried, but it really didn't save itself. And especially, like, most of all the women that were out there, like, for one, I'm calling out Penelope Ford, because ever since she came back, I wanted to see her get the rocket strapped to her back and get the push that she deserves, but she's just been going here all the way down.
Yep.
And on the other side note, minus Britt Baker's, I guess, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel, why would the heels work a little more together or be more coexistent together, if you will?
Yeah.
And if this is all that you want to say for, like, segment's sake that your women's division has, that has to say something about the rest of it. Because let's just take the casual fan who just turned into that, and they said, well, all 10, 11 women is all you have for your women's division. I feel like that's kind of a kick in the nuts to everyone else that they probably had back there, and maybe who were going to be on the Rampage tapings that you could have brought with.
Yeah.
Like, especially the more notable ones, like Trey J said earlier, like, bring the TBS champion out. She says she's beaten everyone, so why couldn't we have a face-off maybe between her and Tony Storm or something in there?
Yep.
And I will say one thing that the biggest gripe that didn't happen is that this turned into like a 10, 11 woman tag. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that didn't happen and it just stayed that way. But
Yeah.
that's the next match afterwards, so we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, Canada Dry, your thoughts?
Okay, so Saraya,
Yeah.
she killed it in my opinion, and the crowd was 100% behind her. And how I would have done it for this lumberjack match would be different. I would have had Britt Baker interrupt her right at the end,
Yeah.
and then Tony Storm come in and tell her to shut up.
Yeah.
And then Deeb comes out, and then all of a sudden, women that we don't even care about are all surrounding the ring when the commercial comes back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here we go. I
I
mean,
just feel like I was gonna say.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you know, the best advice I can give to Tony Khan is you should have taken this segment and called it Old Yeller and taken it out back and shot it in the head and shot it dead. It didn't need to be there at all. Go ahead.
Well, I
Tony.
think their big mistake is trying to mix Saraya's big debut with that match. That was the big.
Yeah. And I feel like if Saraya is gonna do the revolution right. Take the homegrown people, the people who started up in AEW, the people who don't get the TV time because it's been taken over by people like Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm and now Athena and so on and so forth. Those are the people that I want to see Saraya bring out.
Yeah.
Those are the people who I think that she could. Huh?
She brought out Sky Blue.
She didn't bring out Sky Blue. Sky Blue like she was getting dragged by Madison Rain. Like
You're coming too, Sky. Let's go.
No, Sky Blue did.
Sky Blue thought she could
She's
just
like, I
sneak
don't want to be here.
Snuck in.
you know what I'm saying? People like Julia Hart, who currently doesn't like necessarily have a direction. Like there's so much that they could have done with that segment that would have set the internet on 10.
All right, we all agree it sucked. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So it
Ding, ding,
eventually
ding.
turns into a lumberjack match where we have Serena Deeb versus Tony Storm. There was a good opening to the match. It really flowed very well. Storm is getting better week by week. I don't know if she's got rid of the yips and she's found her true self and why she became a wrestler, but she has been knocking it out of the park week after week after week. And while she can't cut a promo to save her life, man, can she wrestle. When she really is in the groove, she can wrestle. Canada Dry, go first. Your thoughts on the match between Deeb and Storm?
I think that when you have someone like Deeb, you're gonna look good. She can make anyone look good. She can make me look good.
The chicken salad.
Yeah, she turns chicken into chicken salad. That's right.
Yeah.
She's that there's no one better to really get those yips out of you than Serena Deeb, and I think they both knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
Great match. But you know what? Those girls didn't need to be there. They really didn't.
Not in the least. A complete waste of time. Trey J, your thoughts?
Deeb is so good that it bothers me that she is always used to prop up some champion.
Yeah.
Like Deeb is to me the like the muscles and tendons of AEW. She may not be the heart and soul, but she keeps this thing working. Every champion has basically had to go through Serena Deeb, and she has made all of them look so good. Like if there was ever a point where, shut up. If there was ever a point where just properly give somebody their flowers, Serena Deeb deserves it.
Yeah. Amen. George, your thoughts on it?
I thought for the most part it was a very good match. Especially after last week with the 4-way, and we just had Tony Storm and Serena Deeb go at it. Mm-hmm. So I was looking forward to this. Why it needed to be a lumberjack match, I don't know, because all you kind of had was the 5 other women that came out with each side, so it was just Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they both did great.
Yeah.
And it still breaks my heart that you have Serena Deeb, who almost everyone has had to go through her to get their title shot, where I consider Serena Deeb basically the Bret Hart in AEW. And that just breaks my heart because Serena Deeb, she's proven she can do almost anything as a face, make everyone look good no matter who she's with, even as a heel.
Yeah.
And like I said, it just breaks my heart that yes, she's been in the title picture, but I want to see her with the title. Give her a long reign.
Yeah. Completely.
Oh.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. We got new stuff already.
Who was that?
Yeah.
That's
That
just
was
Stratus.
Stratus.
It's a shame because I'm a huge Serena Deeb fan. As I proclaimed last week, I'm a Deeb dweeb. I love Serena Deeb. She is absolutely amazing. We're gonna make shirts that are gonna say I'm a Serena Deeb dweeb.
We're just deep dweebs.
Yeah, we're just Deeb dweebs. That's all. So let's go to our next match, and of course we're talking about Ricky Starks, who last week finally got the literal monkey off his back. He beat the living hell.
The gorilla off his
The
back.
gorilla on his back. He beat Powerhouse Hobbs, took him to the mat. Tonight he faces not a jobber, not a enhancement talent. He is an intern, and his intern name is JoJo. And I say that because I just watched JoJo Dancer. Your Life is Calling You.
In a squish match.
Huh?
In a squish match.
In a squish match, yes. I thought it was a great squish match. What are you guys? Canada Dry, you go first, really quick. What were your thoughts on intern JoJo versus Ricky Starks?
Intern JoJo put in the performance of his life. I tell you what, I was this close to betting on him, but Ricky Starks,
Yeah,
still the man.
yeah. Okay, George, what are your thoughts, really quick?
He tried. He had great hair, but he lost. Sad.
He had great hair.
Squish match.
Trey J, bring it home.
So I had never seen Eli Esom wrestle before
Yeah.
until Final Battle, which of course you guys know was the day that I met Javon Manacho in person.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it just so happened to be like I think right around that segment because that was when the Control Your Narrative group came in.
Yeah.
I say all that to say, once again, a match that didn't need to happen, definitely didn't need to happen this late in the show. Ricky Starks really didn't need it, and I feel like it's almost like, hey, your last match didn't count for your record, so we got to give you a win on TV.
Yeah,
I think it better would have been a nice little interview with Ricky Starks.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought we could have had that, or I don't know why they skipped out on Powerhouse, or is he supposed to technically be just off for the week for this, for Ricky to shine, for them to give him a win back? Because with that little mini squash match, I was kind of expecting him to come out and they were going to continue their brawl.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time looking at Powerhouse Hobbs as a bad guy with the PSA because remember they did the PSA again today. And it's tough to look at a guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, I gotta get that there's definitely a separation between character and person. But it's like you look at that and that's like, this is a genuine guy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know.
Well, I like what WWF used to do in the day. You had the good guys do the PSA.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Back in the day when
Yeah.
kayfabe was still real. All right, let's get to our final match. Of course, it was the main event. For those in AFW who thought Moxley was going to be the main event, you were incorrect. It is Chris Jericho versus Bandito, and I didn't take a lot of notes because I wanted to go into this match and just watch it and just enjoy it because what I see in Bandito is what I saw in Chris Jericho when he was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, when he was still wrestling in Mexico. They are so similar in their move set, how they move, how they work around the ring. I thought maybe somebody spilled ketchup on Bandito. I actually got up to go to the bathroom. I come back, he's got this big red smear on his face. I assumed somebody threw ketchup on him or something, or he got tossed into the crowd. Didn't realize he probably busted his nose. But overall, what a great freaking match. And we could talk about the ending and kind of where we think it's going. But George, your thoughts on the main event?
Oh my gosh, what a main event. Honestly, at the start of the show, Jericho was right. For those who, and I do know a Bandito, but for those who don't know him much or haven't seen him much, they were in for a treat. And this was honestly a great match that I would love to see it ran back. Maybe not at another show so far, maybe like at a pay-per-view somehow.
Yeah.
But this was like highlights, especially towards the end. Well, especially with all those near falls that Bandito was getting. Oh my gosh. Especially the very last one before Jericho actually won. I thought they switched ROH world titles and Bandito won it back.
Yeah.
That literally got me to pop.
Yeah.
But I love that this ran back. I'm kind of happy that the rest of the JS wasn't involved. He still did his other heel tactics, but this honestly was it was just really great match.
Yeah. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the main event?
Wow. Like, this is probably one of the best matches Jericho's had in his whole AEW run.
Yeah.
He's had some good ones.
Yeah.
But this is right up there.
Yeah.
And they gave it almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which was really good.
Yeah.
The blood on Bandito's mask.
Yeah.
Was very, very cool.
Yeah.
I hope he's signed. I'm not sure if Bandito is signed to Ring of Honor or not.
I'm not sure either. I know he's still doing a tour in Mexico. So
if he's not signed, they need to get his name on a contract right away because we need more of Bandito. He's world-class talent. I didn't know him before this, but I'm sold completely on this guy. Just has the it factor.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved Jericho at the end.
Yeah.
We'll
get to the for that I'll give you 3 bells. Trey J, your thoughts, of course, on the main event.
I heard it was a great match. I heard it was a great match. I missed it because, like, right around like a little bit after the match started, I heard Coolio died. So I was like,
we got to pour one out for Coolio.
I know.
We can make this little segment. You can say whatever you want about Coolio right now because
and it just like messed me up. And then I felt bad because I was like, I thought it was going to be like just okay. We know Jericho's going to win, and I've seen Bandito do some great things in Impact and great things in AAA. And then a couple, even I think he had a good match in the Terminus, and so I know Bandito's very capable. And but then I heard about it, and I got a chance to catch a couple of like Twitter clips, and he didn't disappoint in those. Yeah. And so as much as like my direct viewing was Coolio, and then I got a chance to like watch the end, and then of course Jericho's post match segment. I agree. I hope that Bandito gets signed. I think that Bandito, in a lot of ways, could be what the division, like what AEW needs right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And for that, you're going to get a
Yeah.
So let's talk about the end. I'm a huge Ring of Honor fan. I have been for about 18 years. Trey J, I know you're a huge Ring of Honor fan. What I think differentiated Ring of Honor, outside of the fact that you very rarely saw larger than life big guys, it was a very much a little guys promotion.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, like the honor of it, the shaking of the hands, the not cheat. I mean, you had people that cheated. Adam Cole cheated all the time in Ring of Honor. That's what he did. But I mean, it's a prestigious title. And I think turning Jericho more into a sideshow because he won cheaply. again, and it looks like that's how we're going to book these Ring of Honor championship matches until someone takes the belt away. That is going to be a villainous comedic aspect of it, where somebody's going to get kicked in the junk or a cheap shot, and that's how Jericho is going to retain his belt. So, Trey J, as a fellow Ring of Honor fan, your thoughts on the end, and then with Jericho.
I mean, if this don't seem like something that Vince would have done,
yeah,
and sometimes it's a Dark Knight all over again. It's like you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become Vince. Like, that's how I feel like Tony Khan had gone lately, because there are so many questionable decisions, especially with the purchase of Ring of Honor, basically mirroring at this point the purchase of WCW. And it's like, what do you want this to be? Because you know what you already know. I mean, it's still fresh, so you know what your fans want it to be.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's next? I really feel like Guevara and 2.0 are about to beat Dalton Castle and the boys next.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little disturbing because it's hard to get heads or tails of it, and you're running into diminishing returns already.
Yeah,
you got Daniel Garcia, who's the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. He's cutting ties with the JAS at this point. Yeah. You got Jericho, who is taking the honor out of it and just calling it the Ring of Jericho.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's happening so fast that it's like it's just kind of sucking it away.
Yeah, I agree. Canada Dry, what are your thoughts, really quick?
Not really quick. You gave him a full 10 minutes and you're like, really quick.
You may elaborate.
All right.
Well.
So you guys are not the market. They don't care about your allegiance to Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
They want new viewers.
Yeah.
They don't want old Ring of Honor viewers. So what you guys think is, it doesn't matter. They want new people with eyes on Ring of Honor, and the old ways are dead. So, whatever's going to get eyes on the product is what's going to work.
Yeah.
And,
well, for that remark,
you know what? You just made the list. Oh, no.
Yeah, you just made the list. George, your thoughts on the ending and how it ties with the Ring of Honor of old and versus the Ring of Honor new?
JP looks legit sad.
Well, at first, when Jericho was saying he was going to take on everything of Ring of Honor, I kind of felt like this might have been a step forward where ROH might have gotten a TV deal, or they were going to get like some streaming platform or something. And then I'm like, okay, so that's not it. This has Vince basically written all over it. Yeah. And then it kind of made me sad because I'm like, okay, you bought Ring of Honor. And when Tony Khan told us that he bought Ring of Honor and he said he was going to be sad if he didn't buy this and it was going to go away forever.
Yeah.
And then this is how you treat basically the whole Ring of Honor company, especially the titles, like, and their library. Like, you just have them and that's it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a little bit disappointing, especially to the casual fan. If you're using their belts, but you don't have something for them, or let's just say people who don't know Ring of Honor and they tune into AEW, whether they're casual or they're just nerds like us and others, and maybe they just never heard of Ring of Honor and they tune in, they're like, what the hell is a Ring of Honor belt?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? What? I thought this was AEW.
Yeah.
And then you also have probably your buddy next to you or something trying to explain that to you. And I feel like there has to be something there. Well, there needs to be something there, especially at this point, because it basically does feel like WWE when they bought WCW. And it kind of just breaks my heart. Well, for the fact that we're really only getting like 2, maybe 1 more. So like 3 Ring of Honor pay-per-views within the year. And nothing close to like a short streaming deal, or I don't really know how everything else goes with TV
Well,
World on getting a
Well,
TV
Tony
deal.
Khan is promising some sort of thing coming up. It's coming. So hold your panties.
I'll hold them real tight just for you.
Thank you. But what I really would have liked to see is get rid of that atrocious Ring of Honor belt.
Well, if you watch the video package, the one that Bandito had when he was walking down
Yes,
the aisle,
that belt
big
is
gold one,
gorgeous.
yeah, that's the actual belt. I don't know why they're
Yeah.
still using the old Ring of Honor belt.
I think like as soon as Tony Khan bought it, he should have blinged up the
He should have
belts a bit.
reinstated that.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to be way more blingy. They look very indie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that's the vibe they had at least.
Yeah, I
until-
know, but you're not indie anymore.
Yeah,
Was this the first time that the Ring of Honor Championship has main evented anything since Tony Khan has had it? Because I know it's opened a bunch of shows.
yeah. I think this is the first
Yeah.
time it's actually made
It is.
There was something else. I'm pretty sure.
The Pure Championship maybe was a, but this is the first time that they've had the
I
Ring
think
of Honor.
on Rampage, it definitely.
Rampage don't matter.
If you count Rampage, I guess.
Yeah, Rampage actually mattered. We have-
Rampage is a hell of a video game.
Monday night as well.
I always pick Lizzie. I never pick George. George sucks.
All right. So, anyways, let's
Hey,
get to
I wasn't
our,
hyping that movie.
Let's
Not
get
the
to
movie,
our
the game.
before we say goodbye.
I was talking about the
we always
movie.
Talk about best match of the night, and we give the number of bells 1 to 4. So, George, you go first. Best favorite match of the night, and then how many bells?
Favorite match of the night, obviously Chris Jericho versus Bandito.
Yeah.
And I would, for bells, I'm gonna go with 2.8 out of 4.
Okay.
I feel there was a bit more parts that I could have done without on the show, and they probably could have done better at, even if they just tweaked them a little bit. But I feel like a couple matches really saved it a bit more for me, at least this week, because it's not.
All right, Canada Dry, your favorite match, and how many bells are you going to give it?
We're gonna go with the Chris Jericho match of Bandito, and we're gonna give it 3 bells out of 4. Another point anything out of 5 or whatever. George the Monkey's trying to do.
Rude.
Trey J,
I'm more
your
accurate with these.
Your favorite match of the night, and how many bells are you going to give this sucker?
Since I pretty much missed the Chris Jericho match, I got to go with the Ricky Starks Eli Issa match.
Cut this guy's mic.
No, but seriously, like I feel like this is the second time I got to give an AEW Dynamite a 2 bells because we skipped over a lot of the promo segments.
Yeah,
that were terrible. The Acclaim just won the titles, and they show them for Keith Lee to be like, "Hey, you know you guys cheated, right?" Of course they know they cheated. Like they got the belts. Who cares? And it was just like that, and a whole bunch of other segments that were just bad. The private party segment was bad,
horrible.
Like it was
just a way to get somewhere with them.
Yeah, and I feel like they didn't even do a great job of getting there.
Yeah,
like, and I really feel like, and I really hate this part, that last week's Dynamite gave them so many different options. You could have had Morrissey versus Yuta, and then MJF coming out and being like, all right, I'm going to challenge you next week since, you know, you're already beat up. You could have had Hangman versus Roosh because, I mean, they were the last two. And we didn't even talk about Hangman coming out and just staring at Moxley the whole time where MJF was the star of that segment. Like,
forget about the Dolly shirt that Hangman was wearing.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. And then to top it off, you had what was it? The Guns and FTR last week, and they've gone basically nowhere with that. And it's just like, okay, that would have been at least an entertaining
I thought
match.
that was definitely leading to a match.
Yeah.
See, I'm allergic to bullshit. This is what happens when I start.
Yeah.
Shit
Bad.
Baker DMD.
That was so terrible.
I'm gonna go ahead and say my favorite match tonight. Trey J, you stole my. I was gonna say Ricky Starks versus intern JoJo, but I did not. It is Bandito versus Chris Jericho. Absolutely 100% match of the night. I'm gonna give this 2 bells. And here's the reason. I was going to give it 1 bell because it was an absolute shit show of a Dynamite. The main event is what literally saved it.
It did.
It saved that night for sure. I feel bad for Joseph Graham. This is the first. Joseph Graham was always on our show. This was his first AEW show with his kid, and he went to one of the worst shows of the year, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he got to see He got to see the Rampage. He got to see the dark matches. So
he got MJF behind him too.
That's true.
So yeah, he got a fight with MJF and Wheeler Yuta right there. So I'm sure he loved it.
All right, so that's our show, guys. You can find us on effingwrestling.com. Go all the way down on the bottom of the page. It has all our social media links. You can go to youtube.com/effingwrestling, and there you can go ahead and get our social media links as well. Reason why we push the social media links is because the links lead you to AFW, one of the greatest promotions for predicting wrestling. If you think you know how a wrestling show is going to end up, come and join AFW. You will have an amazing time. You win championships. You can cut promos. It's absolutely fantastic.
And you'll join a community where you can have a bunch of nerd friends like us.
Yeah, exactly. And we're on there all the time. You can definitely go to prowrestlingtees.com/effingwrestling, where you can get all of our wrestling shirts.
We got a couple new shirts. We got the Effing Wrestling Running Wild shirt.
Yeah.
And we got a new version of the finger shirt.
Yeah. So we got all kinds of new stuff coming out all the time. Like I said before, we're a t-shirt company that happens to do a podcast and like wrestling. Yeah. So on behalf of Trey J. Styles, George Penning, I'm the JFB.
And remember, just keep fighting.
Peace out, Coolio.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effingwrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effingwrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.